Your email account is one of the most important accounts you have. Follow me here. Most people don't really use their email much. It's just a necessary evil to sign up for websites and maybe sometimes score a discount, but usually it's just a collection of junk mail and spam. But think about this. When you go to sign into any website, there's a little button that says "Forgot password." And when you click it, it sends a free login to, that's right, your email. That means that whoever controls your email account controls your digital life. And using multiple accounts doesn't really fix this either. The fact is that email is more important than we give it credit for, so it's vital that we protect it as much as possible. While convenient, mainstream email providers like Gmail, Outlook, and Yahoo leave a lot to be desired for maximum privacy and security. These providers leave your inbox at risk of data breaches, insider threats, and more. In this video, we'll talk about some providers who can protect you from these risks and give you the peace of mind that only you have access to your emails, plus a bonus tip to help you manage spam. You might be wondering exactly why your current email provider isn't good enough. They all do the same basic stuff under the hood, and maybe you even use a strong password with good two-factor authentication. And that's certainly a good start, but the problem is that mainstream providers leave you exposed to additional threats that even the best password can't protect against. For starters, with popular providers like Gmail, Yahoo, and iCloud, your messages are stored unencrypted on your provider's servers. This means that anyone who works there can read all of your messages. And while companies typically do restrict who can access email data, it's still accessible. And that means that you're still open to a few threats. First, if your email provider is breached by a cyber attack, the messages could be accessed by an attacker. And this isn't hypothetical. This has happened multiple times already. In 2021, for example, large organizations that were using Microsoft Exchange, including governments, medical researchers, and even some small businesses, were affected by a zero-day that allowed attackers to access email messages themselves. But it's not just external hackers. In 2018, a Yahoo systems administrator abused his job to access user inboxes to look for nude photos and videos of female users. In some cases, your concern may not be illegal hacks, but lawful access. Law enforcement data requests are at an all-time high in the US, and the Electronic Communications Privacy Act allows law enforcement to access emails that are older than 6 months without a warrant. In today's political environment, this could present a potential risk for some people. Think about it. Your email inbox is a treasure trove of sensitive data that reveals a lot about you: where you bank, who your doctor is, your interests, and what sort of causes you support. Even without access to the account or message content itself, say a data breach for example, these emails being exposed could help someone craft more convincing phishing emails, among other risks. Once again, even authorized access remains a risk here. This kind of data is already used for advertising, albeit indirectly. While most email providers won't use your email content for advertising, many of them still use the metadata, like who you're getting emails from or sending them to, and share that data with advertising partners. So, is it possible to break free of your mainstream email provider's surveillance? Email is an ancient standard. It was originally created in 1971 by Ray Tomlinson and developed in an era where privacy and security weren't really a priority. It's worth mentioning that there are a lot of deeper privacy and security issues that simply can't be fixed without overhauling email from the ground up. And unfortunately, email has become a universal tool that powers much of our modern world, from communication to account signups, so this overhaul is unlikely to happen anytime soon. Still, there are lots of steps providers can take to make email safer than the default. None of the mainstream providers make the extra effort to implement any of these solutions, but there are email providers that prioritize their users' privacy and security, primarily by encrypting the emails as soon as they arrive in your mailbox. This means that even your email provider can't access your email content, protecting you from the common threats that we talked about earlier. After extensive testing and community input, we've landed on 3 email providers that we believe are solid recommendations. ProtonMail is one of the most popular and well-known names in the encrypted email space. ProtonMail is an encrypted email service based in Switzerland that encrypts all emails in your inbox as soon as they arrive, making them inaccessible even to Proton themselves. This process happens quietly and automatically in the background behind a sleek and modern user interface. ProtonMail automatically end-to-end encrypts emails with other Proton users, but thanks to their use of PGP, you can also send end-to-end encrypted emails to other encrypted email providers. This interoperability does mean that some metadata is unable to be encrypted, such as the subject of your emails. You can also send encrypted emails to mainstream providers by securing it with a password. ProtonMail is part of a larger ecosystem of Proton products. They also offer an encrypted calendar, drive, password manager, and more, making them a very common choice for people who value a seamless ecosystem. Mail offers private, secure, and encrypted email based in Germany. They take a slightly different approach than Mail. By using their own custom encryption process to protect your emails, which is based on a modified version of PGP, they're able to protect additional metadata such as the subject line. Mail also features a clean and minimal user interface where the encryption process happens automatically and by default when emails arrive in your inbox. Emails to other Mail users are automatically encrypted. However, because of their custom encryption, emails to other encrypted email providers aren't easily possible. Instead, you can send emails that are encrypted with a password to users who aren't using Mail as a workaround, similar to Mail. Tuda also offers encrypted calendars and contacts to fully protect your email communications. Finally, Mailbox Mail is a private email service based out of Germany. Unlike Proton or Tuda, they don't encrypt your emails that arrive by default. You will have to enable encryption of incoming emails using Guard, which is their tool for managing your encryption keys. One key benefit of this approach is that it allows you to use traditional desktop email clients like Thunderbird without any workarounds, unlike Proton and Tuda, as well as any modern web browser. Since Mailbox relies on the OpenPGP standard for encryption, it can send encrypted emails to other encrypted email providers easily like Proton, but there is no password-protected email feature like Proton and Tuda offer for mainstream providers. Mailbox doesn't encrypt calendars or contacts like Proton and Tuda do, so you'll have to consider alternative solutions for that data. You should also be aware that Mailbox doesn't have a free tier like Proton and Tuda, but plans start at as little as €1 a month. Now, some critics argue that using an encrypted email provider is useless. They argue that since most people don't use encrypted email, your email likely remains exposed on their end. We disagree. Even if only one person uses encrypted email, that still cuts the attack surface in half. Furthermore, the more people that use encrypted email, the more popular it becomes and the network effect starts to kick in. So which provider sounds most interesting to you and why? Let us know in the comments. Before we dive into some advanced email privacy techniques, I need to mention that Privacy Guides is a non-profit, volunteer-run project. We rely solely on donations to be able to produce these videos and create educational, privacy, and security content. We wouldn't be able to do this without the generous support of our paid members and donors. If you become a paid member, you'll get access to sweet perks such as early access to videos, a cool badge on your forum profile, and the warm fuzzy feeling of supporting independent media. So please consider donating if you get any value from our work. Now let's dive into those advanced email privacy techniques. A common obstacle to switching email providers is bringing all of your old emails over with you. Proton and Mailbox both feature an email import tool, as well as instructions on how to use them. Tuda's import tool is currently in beta and only available to paid users, though they also have instructions on how to use it. Another major concern is getting everyone who regularly contacts you to update their records. We recommend setting up forwarding rules on your old email account, so that way all your emails at your old address get automatically sent to your new one. Then reply to the emails that you received with your new email address and gently remind your contacts that you're using a new address. Eventually, they'll update. For one-way emails like newsletters or notifications, watch the emails that you receive closely and update each account when you notice that they're still linked to your old email. That way you can slowly transition away from your old email address to your new one until you're eventually completely free. While you're updating the emails on your other accounts, here's a bonus tip. You can use an email aliasing service to manage your inbox and improve your privacy. These services work by creating randomly generated email addresses that forward to your main inbox. From the outside, it looks like you have a bunch of email addresses, but for you, it's basically the same as having a single address from an ease of use and management perspective. This protects your main email address from spam, stops websites from correlating your activity via your email address, and allows you to identify if your email address has been breached. We have a page dedicated to this on privacyguides.org. While you can definitely improve your email privacy with encrypted providers like Proton, Tuda, and Mailbox, it's important to remember that email was never designed with security and privacy as the core principle. That's why, instead, we recommend using an encrypted instant messenger like Signal or SimpleX wherever possible. These platforms will protect your communications more significantly, including your metadata. Unfortunately, there are still times when email is unavoidable, and that's where these providers come in. If you're interested in private messengers and how they can protect your data better, we recently released a video covering which ones to avoid and which ones are the best for your privacy and security, and we'll leave a link to that video in the description. Remember to check privacyguides.org for our latest recommendations on email providers and email aliasing services, as well as all of our other privacy tool recommendations. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.